did these buildings come from? They're just plucked out of different eras. It doesn't make any sense.
In this episode, we throw away some trash, have a beverage, and see in 4K.
You know the worst thing about my vision right now? These freaking glasses are always smudged. Ooh, crisp.
4K?
Yeah, it might be 4K. Good morning. We're making a video today that's kind of me focused because I have a game that I've been playing for a while which has shown up in a couple other videos. I am chasing kobans, and kobans are like what you see behind us. It is a small police station. They are speckled throughout the country. There are over 6,000 of them, and they are just small, local police stations that are usually manned by one person, sometimes not manned by anyone, and I'm chasing them. I'm looking and trying to find them, and I'm marking them on Google Maps. It's my birthday, and I want to do something fun, and this is something I want to tackle. I have 193 kobans so far. I want to get over 200 today. So I'm adding this one to my list. So now we are 194. We are in Azerbaijan, and you might be asking, why are you there specifically? And it's not because of kobans, it's because of bagels.
Can I ask you a question?
Maybe.
What the fuck are those?
What the fuck are these? Along with the birthday vibes, my birthday present to myself was getting LASIK, and I got that done on Tuesday. Today is Monday, so it's almost been about a week since I've had my LASIK. Vision is going good. The experience was intense. I don't know if there are different types of LASIK out there, but mine was like, whoa. But I got through it, and hopefully my vision is better for it. Oh, I can see so far down the road, Eric. Wow. I went hiking. I could see the trees in the distance. So, happy birthday to me. Good eyesight.
So you have to wear these glasses for a week for protection, yeah?
Yes, and mostly outside. Like, I don't have to wear them inside. It's to keep you and the elements from messing with your eyes. I have to wear them when I sleep, and that is absolutely terrible. Go put some sunglasses on and then go like try and take a nap. It's miserable. We hit up the bagel shop. We've done mochi Kyde. We're taking it away. We've come to a little park, or stairs is really all that it is. But in our takeaway situation, I have not been given something to spread my schmear with. So I'm coming up with something, and it actually feels quite befitting for the moment. I'm gonna see if I can get my lens out of the glasses so that I can spread it with the lens.
They just pop those things in and out the glasses store. It doesn't seem that hard.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought
Yeah,
it
it's really in there. You might have a better chance than... yes. Oh, this feels good. I'm not gonna use this shit in the future. They actually told me it's a bad prescription anyways. So, my bagel is a lemon salt, and my schmear is birthday beets.
Birthday beets? Oh, you're calling it that.
I'm calling it birthday beets. They're not calling it birthday beets. This is actually a good spreader.
Why didn't you give us a knife? That's kind of strange, isn't it? How are you supposed to do this?
I guess they just spread it for you. I did ask for it specifically on the side.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, yeah, you broke the
I broke the rules. That's normal.
Mm-hmm. So this is your first bagel, maybe, since New York?
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel like it's stacking up?
I feel like it could have been toasted a little bit longer, but the toasting is not where it's at. It's a quality bagel. The cream cheese. Wow. There are chunks of lemon in here.
Like in the bagel?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna determine if that's overkill. Hopefully there's not chunks of rind. The schmear tastes more like cream cheese. It's almost like got the color of the beets, but not the flavor of the beets. But it's what I wanted this morning.
When we were in New York, we were eating bagels all the time because, of course. And the way to go is with the lox because, my God, The problem is in New York, the price gets kind of like, you know, it gets to be expensive. Here, man, there's like a war going on besides some talks. Here, you got the locks, and I was like, oh God, it's like 1,400 yen, it's quite expensive. But then I was like, wait, that's cheaper than it was in New York. So I just went ahead and bit the bullet, and I got the locks. It feels maybe a little smaller than what we had when we were there. Really heavy on the onion flavor. I think you're right about that. It could have been toasted longer. I feel the same way about my bagel. And the fish. The fish is good. It's good. There's so much other stuff in here though. It doesn't really like stick out. I feel like maybe more fish, less oniony stuff would be a better ratio. I'm not disappointed. I mean, I still have a locked bagel. But maybe it's not as good as what you would get in New York. Not that I can be a snob about it. This is one of those beggars can't be choosers situations.
What? Why is that?
Because there's not a lot of places that sell bagels in Japan. So, like, you...
Somehow that bagel tasted like onion.
Really? It's my breath, probably. So, like, even if it's not like the world's greatest bagel, it's still a bagel.
Yeah.
So it's like you just kind of got to be like, yeah, this is what we have available. They're just like, I don't know if there are any other places that make New York style bagels in Tokyo. Like I'm not even aware of them. So, you know, take what you got. What do you think about that?
It's good.
You made an interesting combination, I think. I don't know how I feel about that combo.
I went crazy.
You did go a little crazy, but it's your birthday.
So, sometimes you gotta go crazy for your birthday. Not supposed to touch in and around your eyes. Is it going? It's cheating, it's bad. This is my life right now. Eye drops frequently.
Oh, it's terrible, I hate it.
Ooh, no drips? I'm becoming good at it, but sometimes it gets embarrassing and I drip all over the place.
That's what she said?
That's not embarrassing. So you might be wondering, how are you keeping track of all of these kobans that you're finding so that you know you found it or you can add it to something? I've been using Google Maps, and I don't know if anybody else is using Google Maps in this kind of collect-a-thon gamification way that I'm using it. But you can easily type in koban into Google Maps and it will show you all the kobans around you. And there's a ton in the city. We're gonna find a lot of them today, or not. We'll find many today. There's so many that we won't find a lot of those that are around, but we'll find many today. I have no fear that we will get to my 200 number for today. Did you know that upon every 100, I give someone a hug? At my 100, I gave Antara a hug.
I'm looking forward to this hug.
Yeah. So we went to Hitotsubashi Koban, and it's already been marked, but I'm just gonna show you how that works. So I clicked on saved, and then it has my little icon there. And I've just been adding and adding and adding kobans to this list. You can see that I'm up to 194, and I'm gonna click done. And then when we zoom out, you can see that it now holds my icon. So I know that I've already found that one before. I can just go, okay, we'll move on. We'll go find another koban. And that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna go and find another koban. And I think we discussed that we'll be heading north. I'm kind of excited to go to the Tokyo Tower koban, but we're gonna hit the Azabu koban before that. So just hit directions. We got about a 16-minute walk, and we'll have another one in the books. Why are they lying to everyone about what conch shells sound like? Nothing's happening. I can hear the airplane. But yeah.
You can't see, hear the oceans and the whales?
I can't hear the oceans and the whales. I can just hear the airplane in the sky.
All right, let's see if we can hear in this conch shell. Go ahead and jam the... Hold on a second here. There's a goofy looking dog. Okay. Check out this conch shell. In we go. This is not safe for stuffs. All right, everybody, let's listen. Can y'all hear the airplane?
Eric, we Got a strong case of the Gomi game. 2 types of Gomi. And let's mark the time. 10:30. Let's see how long it takes.
The can will be easy. That bagel business.
The bagel bag?
Bagel bag is in trouble, man. That's going home.
Oh no. Here we go. We have games on games on games. Like right now, we are doing my koban. We're doing my koban game. We're in the midst of the Gomi game on top of that, and nice cock. This is like the best day ever.
The thing you gotta do is try to trick somebody else to hold the bag. That's another game, isn't it? Can you hold this for a second? Come on.
And usually I fall for that so quickly.
You scratch my nose or something.
No way. This might need to be a short shot because we are right outside the Russian embassy and it is kind of on lockdown right now. There's a lot of cops out and about and a lot of vehicles out and about. But the koban across the street from the embassy is so totally skinny and tall. It's beautiful. It's exactly what you want out of a koban because none of them look the same. They all look different. Like the one you saw earlier today, I call that kind of a standard. This is a standout. It just is cool looking all on its own. Why it's built like this, how it got to be like that, what was in this building before. I love kobans.
Turns out the cops didn't care at all that we were filming.
They did not,
really
and I was like talking really quickly. And still got Gomi.
Just as we were like, oh, the cops don't care because the dude just walked past us like it was no big deal, a whole swarm of cops came up to us and they cared. But not aggressively, and I actually find this kind of interesting example of how the police here behave compared to maybe other countries that we may have lived in at some point.
One of them was enthusiastic and gentle about like what we were doing. He
like,
found out that we're making a koban video. Oh, you're making, oh, tell me about your camera. Tell me about this. Like, it's showing like enthusiasm about what you're doing so that you will want to talk to him.
Yeah.
And no aggression happened. And we were at one point, we're surrounded by like 5 or 6 cops. And at no point did I feel like it was not like a friendly conversation.
Yeah, it was a very, very friendly conversation because they know how to talk to people to get you to just say the one thing that you're doing without like having to be aggressive or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like they were just really chill and like against our like other experiences we've had in other countries we've lived in where they're very aggressive and it's scary.
And want money.
This was like well, we didn't live in countries where anybody tried to shake us down for money, but
true. But we've existed in them.
And that we haven't just that situation. It was just kind of interesting, and like we've lived in Japan since 2011, and that's the first time a cop has ever asked me for my ID.
Yeah,
and
me
he
too.
didn't even ask us for our residence card. He asked us for our driver's licenses. Like, can I just see your driver's license? Which is like the least invasive possible thing. And
well, no, he said like something in Japanese to me that didn't like it didn't click, and then he said ID, and I heard IT, so I was like, why are we talking about IT?
He in English said driver's license.
Yes, and then he switched to driver's license. Yeah.
So anyway, I just was really surprised that it wasn't just like, give us your like residence card and then like, you know, get the batons out or whatever. They were all very, very friendly. But to be clear about like where we were, it was literally right out front of the Russian embassy. And because of all the things that are going on in the world with Russia, there are a lot of police around for security.
Alert.
And they have actually closed the road off. And there's like these big gates that they pull back and forth across the road to like let certain cars go into the area where the Russian embassy even is. So like it's a high security area, but it's still technically a public area. So technically we're allowed to film. Like we didn't do anything wrong. But it did definitely raise their eyebrows and have them come over and just engage in conversation with us and stuff. And again, I was just really like, I'm not angry about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not upset that the police like bothered us. Like, they just came over and did their job. Like, what we were doing was abnormal and in an area that's high security, and their job is to make sure that abnormal things in high security areas are not
don't turn into bigger problems if they don't investigate it.
So I was totally fine with it. I actually sort of got the impression too, if we had told him no about the ID, he wouldn't have cared. Like he would have just been like, all right, just go along. Because like I asked, is there a problem? You know what I mean? Because when he asked for ID, I immediately was like, oh my God, he must got.
Yeah,
and like they were like, oh no problem. So yeah, I don't know. It was a weirdly good situation with the police.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hope that they walk away going, oh, people like kobans.
Yeah, we were like, we're just making a video about the kobans, man.
Making a video about kobans. They're fun.
What number was that?
195. And 196 is right there. And here she is, 196. I would say this is another one of the kind of just standard ones. There are ones that look quite similar. They're just kind of a chill koban, but you get those little splashes of weird buildings in the middle, and I'm hoping we find more of those along the way. But a standard biddy here.
With a pretty cool location.
Yeah, a very cool location. You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Birthday? No.
It's a birthday bus, dude.
Yeah.
This is actually kind of nice the way it's designed, though. The little flow down there, and then this.
Well, I can tell you the amount on my pants this doesn't matter. But maybe other people are sipping less aggressively. Took 45 minutes. Give me the one in your pocket. Whoop. Oh, we'll see what happens.
It's a secret hack. You come into a convenience store.
Yeah, well, they're not everywhere. They are kind of everywhere. Yeah, I would say that was like a good 50 minutes. Whew. Hands-free. In contrast to your local small koban, we also have what is behind me, which is a police station. It's much bigger, lots of people working there, multi-storied, and usually they look pretty generic and kind of like City Hall-esque. Quite boring. I still add these to my list. I don't know if they count, but that's fine. I'm still adding it. That's getting us to the 200 today, but they aren't as cool as kobans. Koban 198 has a cool sign outside that tells you that the police officer who is normally working here is out on patrol. Patrol chudes means that he's just out kind of getting a vibe of his local area, making sure there's no trouble running amok.
Or snoozing in the back.
Or snoozing
There's
in the
cops
back.
back there, dude.
I like to think that they're a little bit better than that. That's my thought. But yeah, they'll be out on patrol. This brings to mind one thing for me, that in most of the professions here, they don't have enough people to service those jobs. And here is one that I think of that they could have another guy working here and one person goes out on patrol, but they don't have it because we don't have enough workers.
You gonna become the police?
And I don't think I'm qualified.
A feature of the koban with no dude in it is there's always a phone that you can go into. You can pick up the phone and you can dial whatever number it is that they say you can dial on that phone. And then a dude will pick up the phone on the other end and they will help you over the phone. So you're kind of on your own, like there's not a dude there like in the physical form, but the soul of the police is always in the koban. And I recently actually had to use that phone at a local koban because I needed to complain about a neighbor who was burning stuff. And it was really annoying because all the smoke was coming at our house. And it kind of got sorted. I don't know if it just coincidentally got sorted or the police actually sorted it.
That phone's so powerful.
But yeah, I think the phone is powerful. I'm not sure though, like if you pick up that phone, I don't know if they'll give, they'll probably figure out somebody who can speak English.
Yeah.
I just did it in Japanese when I did it. But like, if you are like just coming here and you don't speak any Japanese and you need to use that phone, just pick it up and beg English, please.
199? Getting close to that hug boy. So 199's koban has an interesting shape to it, an interesting form, still kind of very normal standard materials that it's been made out of. The one thing that I want to show you about this koban, and it's the same for every koban within the city, is that they display the traffic issues that have happened. And it is stating that there are 0 deaths and 79 injuries that took place yesterday within the city of Tokyo.
It's time for a drink review. This is a offshoot of another flavor that this company makes. The other flavor is called, and I swear it's salty lychee. So it's lychee flavored with salt. This one they reversed the words and it's lime salt. And lime is a bit of a rare-ish flavor in Japan. You'll see things like lychee or lemon or yuzu or other types of citrus. So shikuwasa, yeah, from Okinawa. This is kind of exciting to me just because I really like lime. Wow. It really smells like, you know when you squeeze a lime and you get it all over your fingers? You're like, man, my fingers smell good. That's what it smells like. It smells like lime. As advertised on the bottle. Damn. Maybe a little bit on the chemically tasty side, but it is explosively lime, mostly because of the smell. The flavor isn't anything superior to write home about or anything, but yeah, I just kind of want to sniff it.
Dude, you remember limeades? You remember going to get limeades? There was like some barbecue place. It was like only Richmond, Virginia barbecue place. What was it called?
Are you thinking of almonds?
No, not almonds. Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a super ghetto place, and loved it to death. And then you get the limeade, you get the pulled pork, and you have yourself a time. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
But does it smell better than it tastes?
Yeah, it smells better than it tastes, but got a good quench. That was a big one. Now that was birthdayable. Wow. Did it hit the leaves? I don't even know how high it went. I didn't even look up because I can't get water in my eyes.
Yeah, but you got those gears on. You'd be good.
No, it won't be good. It won't be okay. The doctor will be like, wow, you done fucked up the whole thing. I brought us to the dreaded Imperial Palace. Dreaded. I hate coming here. I never tell anyone to come here. I find this to be one of the most boring parts of the entire city. I never want to come back. But to make number 200 special, we might have access to something interesting in here. And I say might have access because I don't know if we'll be able to get into it. But we'll see if it's in the commoners area.
Looks like we've made it to number 200, and I broke out the action camera because I think there's going to be action when you start hugging. I'm expecting the 200 hug.
We don't want to get things too messed up. Yay!
This is actually a cool little koban out front of the Imperial Palace. Just a tiny little one-man box.
Yeah.
It's very adorbs.
Yeah, and it's old school.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is kind of old school, isn't it?
Super old.
I like that he's in a little, like, cone zone.
Yeah. You don't want to mess with the koban in the cone zone. 200. So, whatever came after that last one was just going to be pretty common. Like, that last one was pretty stellar. I don't know if you got to enjoy how much, like, swagger that guy had with the stick. But he had attitude when he was just chilling. We talked to him for a bit, and he was like just a nice guy. He gave us a little bit of the history of that building. Like they used to check the monja before it would go into the Imperial Palace through that building. Who knows? It was a very interesting story. But this is 201, and that brings me to the sad fact that I have only reached 3%. 3% of the kobans in the nation. This is a lifetime goal, and I look forward to finding lots more kobans, even today. This is not a koban, but it is a restaurant underneath the train tracks, which definitely means it's going to be a cheap lunch for us, and it was delicious. We had deep fried chicken. Why is it deep?
Karaage.
I had a birthday beer and don't know what food is anymore, but yeah, a delicious lunch underneath the tracks. I think I want to bring people here, and I want to do a drinking game. Every time a train goes over, you have to drink.
Yo, this is a Yamadote line.
That's fine.
You're gonna kill someone.
Every 3 minutes. KT line. Courtesy of my LASIK center, who doesn't know that we're here at all, we've come up to the 13th floor of a nearby building and gotten to check out the latest koban, which is the Yurakucho koban. What stands out about it is that it stands out away from all the other buildings. Most of the kobans that we've been seeing, they don't feel as like popped out from either the local area. This is like sitting in the middle of a walkway and just feels quite strange to me. One of the things that I found kind of interesting along this koban hunt that I've been doing is that some of the police stations are built into the train stations. Larger train stations are obviously going to have their own problems, their own incidences, and they need to have police on patrol 24 hours a day. We're at Tokyo Station, and within Tokyo Station there are 3 kobans. So one on the side we're on, one on the opposite side, and one inside. I think that that's kind of cool. They're just built right into it. Shinjuku has 3 to 4 inside of it, and I believe Tachikawa, where we live, has 2. And it isn't even like a super big place, but it has 2 built inside of it. The koban that I thought was inside of the station, because this is called a railway police station, is on the outside. So we didn't have to go through the turnstile to check this one off. I think I'm gonna get all 3 of Tokyo Station's kobans today.
But it is inside the physical building.
It's inside of the physical building of the train station, but you can access it without having to pay. And check. So Tokyo Station underwent like a huge upgrade over like the last couple of decades. I'm sure that it took a super long time for them to sort out all that was Tokyo. On the face that we were at before, you got to see this beautiful architecture. On the side that we're on right now, it kind of feels like a shopping mall, just really slick and glossy and shoppy, basically. And the koban fits right into that in a very strange way. They've just slid it into one of the little cubby holes that they have for the police. And with that, all of Tokyo Station's kobans have been checked off, and now we're at 205.
So all this koban chatter got me thinking, do you have any koban memories of reasons you've gone to the koban to have anything like addressed?
Dude, my most recent one, I got too drunk and I lost my phone. And I had to go and like explain to the cops that I lost my phone somewhere, and they were like, well, where do you remember having it last? And I was like, yoparai. Gomen yoparai. Which just basically means I was drunk. I'm sorry, I was drunk, I don't know. I ended up finding my phone like an hour later, but I seriously had to sit there and tell this lady cop that like, it's going real bad. And it was like, futsuka yoi so hard. I was very hungover and like trying to flip into Japanese and explain how stupid you are. Oh, it hurt. It hurt so bad. So I had to fill out like a whole report, and then I ended up finding my phone. But you know, that'll teach you a lesson. Now I strap it on.
I have gone to talk about noisy neighbors, and like I mentioned earlier, a neighbor burning some things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've gone to kobans really for anything else. Back in the day, you used to be able to go into kobans and ask for directions, and you still could, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They have a big map and stuff. But now everybody uses their phone, so it's sort of like, you know, you don't really need that service anymore. When I lost my wallet when I was in Hokkaido, I got the police involved. I ended up at a koban and had to fill out a report, and then the guy gave me a ride in the police car back to where I was staying at this Airbnb and stuff. So like that was the whole thing. But generally speaking, when you go into these places, the police are really friendly, and they're willing to like help you figure out your things. And it's not like a thing where they're there only to beat up criminals, and like they're there to help people. They're there to help the community. And I actually think that does a really good job of giving the police kind of a positive image, generally speaking, in Japan. Like people really see it as like a community tool, as opposed to like some sort of oppressive like force, you know?
Yeah, and I just watched somebody walk up to this koban. They didn't know how to open the door. They were like knocking on the door, but it's a slide door, so they look kind of goofy. And the cop came up to the door, just set them on their way, like, you need to head in that direction. I think his friends had been talking to the cop before, and he didn't know where his friends went, so he just headed them off in that direction. The guy left, and I looked at the cop. He's just got this big, happy smile on his face, like, I helped him out.
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And then he closed the door. Like, it's inviting almost.
If you ever come to Japan and you want to get in good with the police, refer to them like as omawari-san.
Omawari-san.
Yeah, like,
it's a very
sumimasen, omawari-san, and then you can speak
polite
English. It's
name
fine
for them.
It'll make them very happy. Like, oh, it's a very nice way to refer to them. I don't know. I just thought about that hot tip. Got a hot tip for you, girl.
This is another koban, and I thought that the one that was in Yodacho, that was kind of standoff in the pathway of the sidewalk traffic, was weird, but this is the same, so maybe that's kind of a thing, that these buildings were here back in the day and they just haven't taken them down because they are kobans, and they might as well just keep them around because they're protecting the neighborhood. But one thing that I wanted to talk about with this koban in specific is the limitations that it shows me. My understanding of the shift work of police is that they are on shift 24 hours and then they are off for a certain amount of time. But there's nowhere in there for them to sleep. The 24-hour period that they are on includes time that they would be sleeping. So sometimes you will see a double-decker koban and they will go upstairs to sleep, and that's how their shifts work. But I don't understand where they would be sleeping here.
So I know this lady, and her son is a police officer.
Yeah.
And he works in kobans.
Yeah.
I know where they sleep. See the back end of that building? There's cots in the back.
So just this small little
Yeah.
area is enough for them to sleep. I'd be like, guys, you gotta stop doing the stationary work. Everybody put their pens down. It's time for bed. Like, I just, no noises, please.
And I think they actually work in longer than 24-hour periods. I think they work like 2 days. I think they work like a 48-hour shift and then have like 2 days off or something. There's some weird schedule.
It's a ridiculous number of hours that you don't assume is humanable, but they sleep there.
Yeah, and she said that her son started the job like kind of like, oh, this is going to be a good job, and within 6 months hated it. Said it was just like the work, that time schedule was just really hard to deal with.
Gotcha.
And that even though he would end up with like 3 days off in a row, it wasn't enough to like recuperate enough from like having been on for so many hours. Even though they did get to sleep during it, like the sleep isn't plentiful enough and like deep enough.
Not the same.
Because you can hear somebody doing the stationary work or whatever.
Pins down.
So yeah, like even in these little ones, like there's a place to just like, there's like a cot in the back and they're sleeping inside them. That's my understanding from a lady I know who has a son who
Is a
police officer. It's fika time. Got a carrot cake. I'm very happy about this. Got the full almonds. Uh-oh. Ooh, I'm not liking how much pressure that took. Ooh, that might be a bad sign. We'll see though.
Was that all just icing?
Almonds are kind of interesting. You crunch them and whatnot. It's not bad, but it could be moister. This might be yesterday's carrot cake. I think that could be the problem. But the little coffee shop that we've landed at is kind of nice looking. It's got a cool vibe. And there's a real carrot in there. Look at that, strings of carrots and everything, man. But yeah, it's not. I don't want to talk smack about it because it's carrot cake and somebody's giving me a carrot cake, but it's not the best carrot cake I've ever had.
Can they fuck up ice cream and cinnamon and toast? I don't think so. I've gone that route. Once again, I win. Over carrot cake. And I almost got that carrot cake. I was like that close to it, even said it to you. Think about getting the carrot cake. Never trust a carrot. Are you just noting that this is the worst carrot cake in all of the city?
Sometimes I don't like to say bad things about food when like the staff is within earshot. Because obviously it's just like uncouth or whatever, and like I don't know if that guy speaks English or not, but it doesn't matter. I just feel weird about it. But like,
But wouldn't you want to learn from his mistakes?
dude, it was pretty bad. Like that was
You tried to cut through that brick with a fork.
yeah, that was one of the worst carrot cakes I've had. Maybe the worst carrot cake I've ever had.
Mine was super simplistic and still really, really good. So I'm very happy about my choice. Like the ice cream was great, and it was soggy little bread, and I'm pretty in a sugar coma right now.
I need to find a carrot cake that doesn't suck now.
Oh, is that the whole day's trajectory has changed now to fixing this carrot cake demerit or deficiency?
I'm not sure if that's fixable at this point.
We've gone down that low. This koban just sitting around in the middle of Ginza looks awesome. There are not other buildings that look like this. I mean, you might find architecture here and there spotted around the city, but it's an amazing looking koban that just stands out from the rest of them.
I think the word whimsical comes to mind.
Bit whimsical. Eric was just asking me, are we just being like, here's a koban, here's a koban, here's a koban, but we just hit another koban that is very cool. It is like a very retro feeling weird building that doesn't make any sense in the surrounding area of Ginza, which is like posh and put together and dressed to the nines and everything. And this building that the koban sits in feels like it's a fragment of history that just somehow has managed to be a splinter in Ginza's skin. It is older feeling, it is weirdly shaped. It doesn't make any sense. We got the dude on patrol out like the other place so we can look in and peek and see what's going on. Inside there's like a staircase at the back that goes up to the top. This is one of the weirdest looking kobans I've seen. I thought we were just gonna come to a regular building. I'm sorry, koban, 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 koban. That's all I care about.
Dude, I don't know how obvious this is curved glass.
Yeah. So Eric's like, is it an elevator? It feels like an elevator. It feels like if they made the 80s. This desk is taped together. The desk is just taped with electrical tape. It's kobans like this that make me want to look for the next one and the next one and the next one. You're gonna find something weird and outrageous, and success for today. 208.
All right, next koban.
Actually, the next koban is not necessarily a koban. We'll head there now.
This is not a koban. We're not exactly clear what it is. We know it says it's a safety center, but I have never once seen anybody inside of one of these things. They're a bit rare. Aside from the safety center on the sign, you can always find them because they have blue lights instead of red lights like the kobans all have. I believe somebody told me at some point that these used to be kobans and they're no longer kobans. They turned them into these things where it's essentially just a telephone on the inside. It's got the same telephone that they have that you can go in and use when the koban dudes are out on patrol. But I don't think it operates in the sense of like having the paperwork capabilities and like the filing reports capabilities and things that you would expect for a koban, because I don't know if there's ever people inside of them. So it's just like a phone box kind of at this point. And it makes me wonder if this has really any use in the modern age when everybody just has a phone to just, call in their pocket. Like, what is the purpose of it? I don't understand why they just haven't completely been decommissioned. But aside from the lights and the sign, they do sort of look like a koban, but they don't have like the sign outside to tell how many injuries there were with traffic. They don't have like some of the little features, but the structure itself looks like it probably used to be a koban. I don't know though, I'm just making most of this up. I'm just hypothesizing. So the question is, do you mark that off?
No,
Ooh.
Because it doesn't come up when you search for koban. It comes up when you search for Anzen Senta, which means like safety center. So this does not count.
Do you need another list? How many Anzen Sentas are there in Japan? That's the question. That might be a more achievable thing.
I don't need to start. Yes, it might be more achievable, but I've already put 3% into this business. I'm going for the next 97. Committed. All right, so we saw the really cool koban last time. I'm not looking at the koban behind me. Don't you look at the koban. We're gonna look at it together, okay? Once we get to the corner, we're both gonna look at it together, or the more of you if there are more of you. So, we're gonna count this down. Don't look at the koban. 3, 2, 1, look. It looks cool. I don't know how to share the excitement of it's gonna look completely different than the last one you saw. How did they choose this? Why do they keep them? Why is there no standardization to kobans?
Why is nobody talking about this?
I don't know.
Like, it doesn't seem like there's like koban fans, you know what I mean? But it feels like there should be.
Yeah, and I feel like they used to have those like coffee table books about things that people were interested in. They don't have those anymore, so I'm not trying to make one or anything like that, but that's what this is. They're just different and different and different. You know those door books that people used to have back in the day? It's just like that. Ah, so cool.
The lighting is bad. This way, that looks better.
Okay, so Eric was talking about how, like, should we be talking about the places that we're in? That's not what today is about. Today is about kobans, and today is about us and talking about kobans and this, like, little hobby activity. And I've been telling Eric, like, since round about 3 o'clock, man, I'm starting to get a little bit tired. And that's true. Then Eric was like, well, you know, we could just get one more to round it out, and that would get me to 210 kobans. That would be 17 kobans for today. And he was like, but you could get 20. So this is the conversation that we're having right now. That's what today's about. It's not about Ginza. It's not about Yurakucho. It's not about Tokyo Tower. It's about this game, and that they're so close together, but yet it still takes like 10 to 15 minutes of walking between each of them, and that really tuckers you out.
Oh, are you tuckered?
I'm tuckered. I slept on the floor last night.
In a cardboard box.
Not in a cardboard box. It was an adult fort that looked really amazing.
So we have 3 more to get, and then you'd have for 20 for the day, but it puts you at a weird number total.
I'll take a 212.
How many do you have to get to have even numbers on both? You know what I mean?
Oh my God, I'm not doing that math. See, okay, this is what it's about.
Also, it has started to rain.
Oh yeah, I didn't even add in the rain, and I knew that it was going to start raining, and it would be kind of irritating around about 6 o'clock, but it's kind of at the point of irritating now.
We've come across something interesting here in Ginza where there is an elevator that is kind of like a fashionable, interesting looking elevator that comes up out of the ground, and it's a circular platform, and it seems to have malfunctioned. We didn't see this happen, but the NHK guys are next to us filming, and this elevator shaft is like tilted to the side, and it looks like it's leaning against the building, and the fire department is all here. I don't have a whole lot of news here, but a thing broke. And it looks like somebody's probably not having a really good day. Like an insurance man got a phone call, you know what I'm saying? Well, I was making B-roll of that broken elevator thing, and the NHK guy was like, directly pointed his camera at me and was filming me film the broken thing. So I don't know if I'm gonna be on the news tonight.
You might be on the news.
What's gonna happen is they're gonna be like, a foreigner broke the elevator shaft.
And then you just sat there filming it.
Nuisance YouTubers.
We think that we found a sibling to the Whimsical koban that we found earlier. This one has a pointy hat, so I'm saying this one's the sister and the other one was the brother.
The sister wears a pointy hat? What are you talking about?
Witches. And the boys wear the dumb hat. Larger police stations still count for me because they do come up on the results for the koban search. Behind me here, there is a light gray building. That is a police station. It's not as exciting as the smaller kobans, which we have one right here. Why are they across the street from each other? It doesn't make any sense. But Eric was sitting here and he's like staring at this column. He went over and touched it, like, what the hell is that? What are these doors that slide into each other? Why does this building look like this? I don't understand koban culture. Why have they decided just all the weird buildings? Is there one particular architect that just like barfs out one of these like every so often?
He's an artiste.
He is an artiste. From start to finish today, each koban has been interesting, different, fun, and it makes you want to go and see the next one, find the next one, find the next one. But I am beat. And this marks 19 and 20. So I'd say we've hit a good number for today.
Did I almost run over a lady, or she?
She chose the hardest way to go about it.
She like went there.
You could have definitely done this, but it's one of those things where you got the camera going and they don't want to. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Kobans are amazing. I hope you find them when you come here and you appreciate them.
What's your total number now?
Total number is 212. So my number is 212, 20 for today. Happy birthday. They put vinegar on top of it.
On top of the glasses lens, or the?
on top of the cream cheese that's on top of the glasses lens.
tastes optical.
I can see what I taste. Not allowed to go to the front row of like the splash thing with the
racist bears?
With the killer whale.
With the racist bears?
No, the killer whale. You know what I'm talking about? SeaWorld.
Oh, I was thinking about like when you go down
Splash
with the race.
Mountain.
Yeah.
There will be no splash.
Nice cock of the day.
Here. Get there. Get the cock in the background. Good. Are you seeing this guy's hat game? Oh my god, it's so good. He's killing it. There will be no crime today. Can't really see the top from here. Are you gonna do a B-roll? There's a guy behind you.
I can do a B-roll.
Okay. So
はい、信号変わっております。危険です。無理な横断をやめてください。ハリアップリーズ。
やめてください。Hurry up, please.
Test, 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 test. If you're enjoying our videos and want to help us make more and get some cool perks, check out our Patreon, linked below. Nuisance YouTubers!